Tennessee's recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Ranking Member and Chairman in the past, my Chairman and Mr. Speaker. This bill has come up over many years when I served on this subcommittee and was the Ranking Member and the Chair at one time. Mr. Isis suggested it might only be 6 or 7 regulations. If that was the case, they could take them individually, and there is a process where regulations can be brought before the House and the Congressional Review Act and studied each one individually, and the House could overrule them. I can't fathom that they're bringing this bill for just 6 regulations, which they could do individually. But even then, that's wrong to put them together. And we know what's going to happen is they're going to pass. And they're going to pass the House. Whether they pass the Senate's another issue. These are not midnight regulations. These are regulations that can go back to last June. So the term midnight regulations is a misnomer. And to say that these are just decisions made by bureaucrats, you'd think bureaucrats were something out of a medical dictionary that was highly contagious. Bureaucrats could also be called experts, specialists, dedicated government officials. There are people who study these issues that, to be implemented, need to be fine-tuned to fit into the society, sometimes to protect consumers, sometimes to protect commerce. And it takes years and years and years often for these regulations to take effect. Some of them protect animals, soaring industry. There was a great majority of this House was in favor of a bill to protect walking horses. But it didn't get a vote because there were some people in this House that were against it, and against it so much that they worked to get one of the finest members I've served with, Ed Whitfield, out of this House. That was despicable. And I suspect that same power that might have had that effect could bring that type of regulation up to be nullified. And I would fear that, and I would find it wrong in the spirit of Ed Whitfield and fairness.
Please.
Mr. Speaker,
from Michigan.
I'm pleased to yield an additional minute to my
gentleman from Tennessee is recognized for an additional minute.
Thank you. And I didn't, I like Ed Whitfield a lot. A lot of us did. He was a great guy. And it was wrong what happened, the way he was forced out. Because the House wanted to vote on that, and it could be put in this regulation and it would go. Tobacco regulations, toys, protections for children, all potentially in jeopardy, as well as other regulations protecting four-legged friends. I can imagine when this comes up and there's decisions made of which bills to put into this omnibus bill, you're going to have lots of lobbyists coming and wanting the bills that affect them adversely and their industries put in it, and you're going to have fundraisers right around it. It's going to be a fundraising trough for the Republicans to use, and bidding basically on who wants to have their regulation put in our bill and have it nullified. The Nullification Acts back in the 1830s with John Calhoun are back, not the midnight judges of President Adams. I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman,